Hey guys, it's MazeMan112, and today's topic that I have for us is going to be why Call of Duty is king and why it's the big dog on campus, why it's swinging its big dick all over the fucking place. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first you guys are going to ask is, why in the hell am I even thinking about this at this point in time or at this juncture in the lifespan of the game? And the reason is I actually recently just finished BioShock Infinite. And a lot of people will say that BioShock Infinite is an extremely good game, great storyline, really twist of an ending, and I just didn't see it that way. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and start bashing the game because the game, it was decent. There's a couple of things that I feel really took away from the game. And to me, I'm not going to spoil any kind of endings, but it wasn't that crazy of a twist of an ending. It was very simple, and it seems almost redundant, like a lot of people have gone to this ending when they really don't know what else to do. But let's go ahead and jump into the actual topic. And the reason why I think Call of Duty is king and why it will be here to stay for a good long while is a couple simple reasons that I go ahead and I kind of broke down. The first is what I think is the most important thing for today's gamer, and it is super fast paced. Now this is where it really differed from Battlefield 3. I know a lot of people will say, well, Battlefield 3 can be very intense, very high paced, and they do have, you know, the planes and everything like that. They definitely have unique features, and that's why they have such a loyal fan base, and it's almost the Battlefield versus Call of Duty kind of community, kind of, you know, headbutting that you have going on. But this doesn't matter because in Call of Duty, you know, after you die, there is, you know, 3 to 5 seconds you could be right back into a gunfight. And that's a huge thing because a lot of times people in Battlefield will spend a lot of time getting back to the fight, getting back to the front, and, you know, having to navigate through the whole field, and that can be very frustrating. And I think with Battlefield 4, at least through the previews, it looks like they're going to really shrink this down and make these battles, you know, very high paced, because you never hear anybody in Battlefield getting, you know, 100 kills in a match. It's unfathomable. It just doesn't happen. On to the next part that I think is pretty big as well is just the online interaction that Call of Duty brings to it that you don't have with any kind of other. I mean, first-person shooters kind of are in their own set in this. In some of the competitive games, you know, like League of Legends will have this, but they're really not console games. It's that online interaction. You never know what kind of characters you're going to meet at any given time in Call of Duty. And that's one of those things that, you know, sometimes it'll leave you just absolutely pissed off, and other times it'll leave you laughing your ass off at just some of the things you'll encounter playing online. And that's something that a lot of games do not bring into it, such as BioShock. There is no online interaction, and, you know, it's you know, a variable you can't count on, but in the same aspect, it's a very important variable. On to the third one, which I think is a huge one with Call of Duty has, especially now that they've really expanded the zombie mode, is that it's 3 games in 1. You're able to go ahead and play the multiplayer, you're able to play the campaign, and you're also able to play zombies. And it seems like all 3 of those have their own unique, you know, demographic. That's all they play is that, and they're devoted to that. And it really almost opens you up to 3 different customers that you could be potentially buying your game year after year. But the big thing that I think is really going to help it sustain, and this could also be just because I'm coming from the YouTube background, the YouTube side of things, is that Call of Duty is very entertaining to watch. And some of you guys will say that's not totally true. Well, there was at one point in time, I do believe, just over 100,000 viewers on for the COD XP that went on last weekend. And that is a ton of viewers at one moment watching a live event, you know, when it's e-gaming. And it's just watchable because it's fast-paced and everything that I mentioned. And now we're starting to develop these personalities that go behind with these teams. And before, these teams were, you know, you'd heard about them, but you never really put a face with some of the names. And now they're getting that front where they're able to go ahead and express, you know, exactly who they are and be unique individuals. So now you have these fans who are actually being, you know, fan favorites. They have their teams that they're fanatical about, and that's going to increase the amount of viewership people will have. And it was kind of crazy to go ahead and watch your Twitter feed, or if you guys are on Facebook or anything like that, the amount of people who are rooting for Optic and also Envy. I'm not too sure why so many people hate Farico, but that's just, you know, my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys find it interesting at all. Let me know if you think COD is here to stay. Make sure you guys leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Spotlight bitches today, go ahead and talk about how to embrace your inner asshole. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that one out as well. But I got everything going on now, and I actually kind of made out better. I got some nicer monitors, and but I have Windows 8, and it seems like I've had so many